Hey, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday to you. Today we're stepping into the healing art of what I call word medicine. This is the second, of the five love languages. Last week we did quality time. Today we're going to talk about words of affirmations. We're going to focus on that. Okay, so have you heard something kind and felt your whole body exhale in relief? Or have you repeated a phrase that seemed to shift your mood, your posture, your heart? That's no accident. Words carry energy. I'm excited over here. Words carry energy. Words can bruise or they can bless. And when used with intention, positive affirmations become one of the most powerful tools for healing, rewiring our thinking, and realigning us with who we truly are. So let's explore how word medicine works and how to use it in your daily life. Meanwhile, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Karen Marinez. I'm an emotional wellness coach. I'm so happy to have you here. I help the exhausted woman who struggles to feel comfortable in her own skin, has low self-esteem, and so overextends herself to please others. But stick with us. We show you around here how to prioritize your well-being and find peace, passion, and purpose. Okay. I ask of you to, if you're here and you don't mind, subscribe and put your name in the chat. Just say hi or wave your hand just so I can know you're here. It's just good to know that you're here. But for those who refuse and you're on your couch or you're in your bed watching that's fine too. We're happy to have you. We see you. We see you. Happy to have you here. Well, let me look in the chat. We have my dear Elvin. We have Shawnee Boo, another member of the channel. Thank you for being here. We have Reignite Your Radiance, Giordana Elvin. We have Itza. Hey, Itza. Yolanda. Hey, another member. Hey, Yolanda. PJ. Hey, good to have you here, Tim. Another member. Priscilla. Hey, it's good to have everybody here. Elvin, do me a favor. Someone reached out to me and said, Karen, I've been watching you. I thought that was the live. She didn't realize so there are two going on. There's the 24-hour loop going on YouTube. Carolyn, hey, at me best, hey. And then there is me here. Elvin, if you could go into that 24-hour loop one, I think it's called Inner Peace, and just put it in the chat. If you see a certain amount of people watching, could you put in the chat, go over to Karen is live. This is a 24-hour loop, but Karen is live on the other, that they can check they'll find me. But if they're in the chat, the wellness chat, they can look for the link in there. Okay. All right, let's get started. It's good to have everybody here. I hope everybody's here. Miss Spirals, it was Miss Spirals who was over there in the 24-hour loop. You made it. Good to have you here, Stace. Good to have you. So what is word medicine? Hold on just a sec. Are people there open? Did you find it? Oh, okay. All right. He's working on it. What is word medicine? Of course, when we think of the love languages, we're thinking about, I'm sorry. She says, don't blow up my spot. It's all love around here. But when we think of the love languages, we're thinking about how other people can show their love to us. So that's why we read the book. And, me and my friends and family, we've talked about it because it's like, if I like words of affirmation, then I want my husband or my friends to say, I love you, you're special, you're great, right? But there's power in knowing that what we feel we need from others, and this is so important, we can give it to ourselves. So I got to flip it because it's all about learning how to prioritize ourselves around here. So if we give it to ourselves, we can fill up that hole in our soul. Then, if others give it to us, that's just extra. It's like gravy. It just adds to our abundance. Okay? So, word medicine is the intentional use of language to heal emotional wounds, reframe negative thoughts, reconnect to self-worth, affirm your truth, who you are. And words are not just sounds. Think about it. They create beliefs, stories, identities. We walk around as we are because of what our caregivers told us. Parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, brothers, and sisters. We have our belief system based on what these people told us and stories. Leah, hey, welcome. So in the chat, can you share the worst thing anyone has ever said to you? Okay. And it's because we need to look at that because it's the very opposite of what we want. Think of every word you speak to yourself as a seed. And what you repeat grows roots in your nervous system. Affirmations, that's what we're talking about. Words of affirmation are like conscious gardening for your soul. So that if you have the courage to put in, even if it's not the worst thing anyone has said to you, but that you've heard, because we want to weed, we want to conscientiously pull those weeds out. They're so damn, ooh, you're the bad twin. I won't say the names of who's saying the thing. You're the bad twin. Terrible. Those are things we want to weed out. Another one, if people knew who you really were, they wouldn't think you're a good person. Yet let's weed that out. Terrible, so hurtful, so, oh, someone else was told they were manipulative. Let's let's pull these weeds. Okay, because words create beliefs, stories, and identities. And even if you don't feel those things now, I'm sure it took time to reprogram your mind and say, no, I'm not the bad twin. No, I'm not manipulative. Look at that. You think you're all that. Wow. And we could start having those same thoughts because they were planted. But affirmations are like conscious gardening for our soul. Let's do some gardening. Okay, we don't need to put any more of that negativity in the chat. We're good. Okay, so let's talk briefly about the research and the science behind affirmations. Studies in neuroscience and psychology shows that one, repeating positive affirmations activates the brain's reward centers. Okay, the prefrontal cortex is activated when we hear, when we say positive affirmation. It builds new neural pathways, weakening what? Old negative loops. So we have pathways, neural pathways in our brain, and it's like a path. If we constantly walk on this path, right? There's grass all along here, but nothing here. We want to weaken that and build new neural pathways where instead of our brain feeding us the very negative thoughts, it feeds us the positive affirmations, positive thoughts. Leah said, let's garden. Yeah, let's do it. And over time, affirmations can reduce stress. Don't we all need to reduce our stress, improve our self-esteem, and boost emotional regulation, meaning being even keel, being in control, more in control of our emotions. Here's an example. If you constantly think, I'm not good enough, your brain will find evidence to support that. But if you consistently say, I'm enough as I am, or just I'm enough, then you train your mind to see yourself through a different, more loving lens. That's word medicine in action, positive affirmations, words of affirmation in action. It's a powerful thing. So, how do affirmations heal us? In three different ways. One, they interrupt negative self-talk. So most of us have internalized voices from childhood, society, or past wounds. We've seen some of them in the chat. Here's an old belief: I'm too much. Parents say, "You're just too much. Sit down," right? A healing affirmation would be, my presence is powerful and needed. Isn't that great? And each repetition becomes a gentle interruption to the old story. So I can picture it because there are plenty of places where there's grass and then there's a path because people every day, week after week, month after month, for years have gone down this path because it's a short to make a shortcut. And the path is evident. Grass does not grow there. So that's what we want to do. We want to interrupt that, make the grass grow in that area, and interrupt that old story, that old path, create a new neural pathway. My presence is powerful and needed. Can you see the difference? You walking in a room, you're going to a party, you're walking into the office, you have a meeting, a business meeting, you're meeting with the boss, you have to speak to your family members, and you're thinking, I'm just too much. compared to my presence is powerful and needed. What a difference. It just says that's a great illustration. Yeah. So we want to create new neural pathways. Let's interrupt the negative self-talk by repeating healing affirmations. Later, I'll give you some ideas. You can write them down. You can pick out 2 or 3 of your favorites, put them all around so that you can create new neural pathways. Number 2, how are affirmations healing? They rewire our identity. So you're not just repeating words, because people say, well, what if I don't really believe what I'm saying? What if I don't really feel it? You're reclaiming your identity. Try this. I'm worthy of love. I'm allowed to take up space. My needs matter. So it's not just wishful thoughts, wishful thinking. They're statements of reclaiming our identity. No, I matter. I deserve to take up space, right? And the third way that they heal these affirmations is they shift our nervous system. So many of us suffer from anxiety. Some have panic attacks. Some of you have ended up in the emergency room thinking you're having a heart attack, and it's what? An anxiety, a panic attack. And some of the doctors aren't even kind enough to tell you that. They just say, oh, you're good. They do all the tests. You're fine. Go home and rest. They don't even bother to tell you, baby, it's a panic attack, ma'am. All right. And so you're left wondering, what's going on with me? Our nervous system is totally overdone, just overstimulated. So affirmations, when spoken with breath, calm, and presence, can calm our anxiety and soothe our body. You think about a child, they fall and they're out of sorts, and you pick them up and my boo-boo, and you pick them up, you put them, and you clean up and then you say, it's gonna be all right. And you, the mom or the caregiver, rocks and soothes. Oh, they're fine after a few minutes. They need that reassurance. You need that reassurance to shift your nervous system. Some of you are walking around in a constant state of high anxiety and panic. So say this out loud and see how you feel. If you feel to do it, you could do it right now. I'm safe in this moment, because you are. We're having a good time. We're in with good company. What about I'm grounded and at peace? You think about planes when they have to ground the plane. It was up in the air. For whatever reason, there's danger. They ground the plane. It's back on the ground. Everything's good. There's no danger anymore. So it's like a mini nervous system reset. Say those things out loud and see how it affects you. It can shift your nervous system. So how do we create our own word medicine or our healing affirmations? And again, this is all about us for us. Again, love languages is I need to know what my love language is so I can tell my husband, or I could tell my best friend, or I could tell my mom, or I could tell my children. Let's learn what our love language is so that we can tell ourselves and do the things for ourselves that we need to do so that we could feel good. So one of the rules is keep the affirmations in present tense, not I will be enough. I am enough. So I am right now. Number 2, make them personal and believable. Because some people say, if I say I love myself completely, and you're like, that Karen, that's a bit much. How about I'm learning to love myself more each day, right? It can be realistic and reflect how you feel, but positive. I'm learning. It's a verb. It's a continual process to learn myself more each day. Number 3, speak to the wound. So some of us have a wound, I don't belong, because we never felt like we fit in. Our families didn't make us feel like we were their property, like we belonged to them. And that's such an important thing, that it's a requirement that children have, to feel like they belong to the pack, to the family clan. I'm one of them. And when we don't feel that, then we walk around in the world not feeling, we don't feel like we belong anywhere. But we could try to say instead, I have a sacred place in this world, because you do. So figure out what's the wound. I don't belong, whatever, I'm too much, whatever the thing, and then make a positive affirmation to the contrary. And number 4, repeat them often. Voice recordings, sticky notes on your bedroom door, your nightstand, your mirrors. As you're brushing your teeth in the morning, you could see those beautiful, powerful affirmations, whatever helps to let it sink in, to keep gardening, picking out those negative and adding in the positive, the good. So let me know if you have any favorite positive affirmations. My favorite one is, all is well in my world. It just makes me feel good. So let's practice. Okay, if it feels safe, you can close your eyes. Let's do some positive affirmations together. Take a deep breath in. You may hold it for a few seconds. Exhale slowly. Mm. And let these words land softly in your body. You can say them out loud if you feel comfortable, or you could be, say them silently to yourself if you're surrounded by people that may be like, what's she doing? One is, I am safe in my body. Another is, I speak to myself with kindness and truth. I honor my past and I choose healing today. And what about this one? Especially, I just got off with my assertive communication class. We had our live Zoom before this. And here's a good one. My voice is valuable. My words are sacred. We use our voice. We say what we need to say respectfully, kindly, but assertively. Not passive, not aggressive. And I trust the unfolding of my life. That's another nice one. Do you feel a shift? You breathe those in. So some of Shirley says, I'm deserving of love. Beautiful. It's a I'm enough. Tiff, I matter. Love those. Really nice. And it makes us walk in a room differently. We walk through the world differently. We interact with people differently when we really have those thoughts in our head. I'm enough. I deserve love. So if someone is disrespecting me, I don't feel bad setting a firm boundary and not putting myself in their presence anymore if I can avoid it, because I deserve love. I don't deserve abuse, right? We stand up for ourselves. We have more confidence. Here's an affirmation for confidence and assertiveness. My voice matters and deserves to be heard, because a lot of times we say, oh, I'd rather not stir up anything. No, my voice matters and deserves to be heard. I have something to say and I'm going to say it. I honor my boundaries without guilt. How about that one? We say no to certain people and they don't like it. Or we start standing up for ourselves, prioritizing ourselves, and they're like, what? Because we've never done it before. I honor my boundaries with guilt. That's it. And what about this one? I choose peace over perfection. We have inner battles with peace and anxiety. I choose peace over perfection. I release what I can't control and return to the present. We can't handle all of this. We have no control over any of this. We don't even have control over how people respond to us. We have to, not everybody's going to like us. Am I kind of blurry? Not everybody's going to like us, right? I don't have a, and we have to be okay with that. Do y'all mind if I give you a little cleansing? Just a little bit. Um, And how about this one? Because mm, what if we have a past that we're not proud of? It could be something that we've done or something that we suffered as children, some type of traumatic event. And we carry that and we hold that and we view it as a curse, a trauma. But how about I honor where I've been and I welcome where I'm going? Because we had no control over what happened to us back then. We were children or adolescents or young adults, right? We don't carry the shame. We can start letting go of the shame, I should say, from that. Because you say, I should have fought them off. I should have done this. I should have. But how are we to know? I should have made a better choice. I shouldn't have married so young. They were decisions that were made. Either we made them, someone made them for us. We were pushed into certain circumstances. Can we honor where we've been and welcome where we're going? This is a new day. We can make things different. Another one that's really good is my healing is unfolding at the perfect pace. Sometimes, and you all know who you are, I'm not where I want to be yet. And we're making progress that other people can see. We can't necessarily see it. And we badger ourselves because it's not the progress that we want at the pace that we want. It's 2025. I've been doing this for 3 years. I expect it to be way ahead. But can we just respect that our healing is unfolding at the perfect pace as we can handle it, as we put in the work? And it's being evident. I can see people changing around me, but it's not at the level that I want. But it's okay. There's not another book to read, another video to watch. Can we, as we continue to learn, but can we stop putting this pressure on ourselves that we have to be a certain way and with this time stamp on it? Okay. Be a little more kind to ourselves. And how about I trust that everything I need is already within me? That's another thing. That what we're doing with therapy and with these lives and stuff is simply putting fertilizer so that those seeds can grow and be more and more beautiful, right? You can tell plants and flowers that just have water and sun and those that have water, sun, and fertilizer, they're much more bigger and vibrant colors, right? So what I have is already within me. It's just I'm going to add some fertilizer with the therapy, being around vitamin people, putting into practice the things that I'm learning, right? Isn't that beautiful? It's so much more being kind to ourselves instead of just badgering ourselves for what we can't or have not done yet. It's okay. Things take time. Mariah Carey has that song, Love Takes Time to Heal, right? Our bodies, our minds, our souls take time to heal. Okay. So here are some journal prompts to help you deepen this practice. If you want to, what you can do on your own. If you're taking notes, you can write this down. What old messages or words have wounded me over time? We say things to ourselves all the time, and it's bad enough if we're aware of it, but even worse if we're not even aware of what we're saying to ourselves. I'm not enough. I don't fit in. I don't deserve love. I don't matter. I'm not enough. And those things could be going around like on a loop, all right? Number two, what affirmations do I need to hear most right now? And write them down. Think about it. Sit somewhere quiet, turn off your phone, silence it. Give yourself some time to really think about this because words matter. Words can heal. And we want to give ourselves the healing ones, the medicine ones, not the weeds. And what kind of relationship do I want to build with my inner voice? What kind of relationship do I want to build with myself, with my inner voice? That's a really good one because we're working on ourselves and we're with who do we talk to? Who do you talk to the most each day? You may say, oh, my mom or my husband or my daughter. No, it's with yourself. So feeding ourselves words of affirmation, being positive with ourselves is such a gift. And we empower ourselves to build our own selves up. And then again, if I look in the mirror and I say, girl, you looking good today, as I put my lipstick on, whatever the thing. Then if I get dressed and my husband says, oh, babe, you look so good. I'm like, thank you. Because I already said it to myself. Not like, really? Oh, because I didn't know if these shoes. Let's say it to ourselves. So word medicine begins with noticing what you have internalized for decades and then choosing new language, new stories, new truths So now let's talk to the parents. What can you do? You're struggling because you've heard perhaps negative things growing up. What can you do for your children every single day? You can look them in the eyes and you could tell them sweet things. You're enough. I love you. You're smart. You're so handsome. You're so pretty. Good job. You're going to do great today. All those things. I hate myself. No, you're growing, baby. It's okay. Reassuring, positive words, please. Let's help the next generation, make it easier for them going forward. You might say, yeah, but my child is 14, he's 21. It doesn't matter. Start today. Say it to yourself and then say it to your child. If it's too hard to say, text it to them. Write it in a note. Okay, Leah says, what kind of relationship I want to build with my inner voice? Powerful. Going in the journal, good. Enjoy that. That's a nice one, right? Because if we have a good relationship with ourselves, oh my goodness, the world looks and behaves totally different because our words, our vision, our stories create our environment. That's a fact. So let me tell you a little story. When I was preparing this, what came to my mind, my grandmother. My mom, I didn't know my father's mother. She passed away way before I was born. But my grandmother, my mom's mother, we called her Nana. So she lived in Massachusetts. We would go up often, right? And I had a cousin, not Leah, another cousin who just we're about the same age, but the word in Spanish is traviesa. Like she was always into something. She was always, and I was, I mean, not to, but I was kind of innocent. Like, I was an obedient child. I did mostly what I was supposed to do, right? But she was like, Karen. She always had these bright ideas, Karen. And she would say it like this, let's do this, let's do that. And part of me would be like, I don't know. Come on, Karen. So look at me from the big city, New York, and she's in a small town in Massachusetts, but she had more guts than me. And I just was a child that basically did what I was supposed to do. I didn't like being in trouble. My grandmother lived on the street. At the corner, there was like this bar/pizza shop. So she would get the pizza for us. And I guess my grandfather would go get it. I don't know, but I don't know how, but she would say, y'all want pizza? And we would get it sometimes from there, sometimes she ordered from another place. Well, this particular time, it was the two of us at the house. And I don't know, maybe my mom had left out and Nana was probably watching us. And maybe we were 10, 11 years old and we had money somehow, probably some change or whatever. And she was like, Karen, let's go next door and get some pizza. And I was like, we can't, because that was like, imagine it's a bar. We can't do that here. Come on. She won't know. I don't even know where parts of the story, I can't even, like, I don't remember actually going inside because I probably blocked it. Like I was probably so afraid. Anyway, we came back. Now, how we were going to hide it, and I have to ask my cousin, Leah's laughing because you know who I'm talking about. I have to ask my cousin what does she remember more? But anyway, maybe somehow my grandmother found out we went next door to that bar/pizza shop. Did we have the pizza? We probably ate it, had it on our, who knows, right? And she was so angry, and understandably so. Like, the danger, we were little, we were not even 12, and we're out by ourselves. It was right next, like 2 doors down, but still. And so me and my grandmother I adored her. Imagine, she's my only grandmother, she's my mother's mother. We saw her often. My dad and mom loved her. When she came to visit us, it was like the house just it was all this excitement, right? And we wanted to sleep with her. And now we're at her house. And she was sweet. I loved her. And she called me precious. And I can picture. I don't remember leaving out. I don't remember coming back. But I can picture me right now at her door. Maybe we were coming back in and she saw us and like, where were y'all? I don't remember. But I can feel the fear that I had, but mostly not that she was going to do something like this, but the fear of disappointing her. Like I didn't like doing bad things. And she was so disappointed and she was so angry. I'm sure she was like, these girls, if I have to explain to their parents, like, maybe she was upstairs in her room. I don't even know what the story is. I have to ask my cousin and see if she remembers. She'll probably say, Karen, you always so afraid. But I was so brokenhearted. Like I could picture her face looking at me. I want to cry right now just thinking about it. And she, whatever she said to us, like, you never do that. You the danger, whatever the speech was. And then we were turning around, going back out to sit on the porch or whatever. And I remember going to open her door to go out to the porch. And she said, Precious, oh my goodness, I'm getting emotional just thinking. I haven't thought of the story until I was prepared. And she said, Precious. And I looked back at her and she looked at me. She said, It's okay. I still love you. Oh my goodness. And and she hugged me. And oh my goodness. The relief, because of course I'm thinking, she doesn't love me. How could I disappoint? Why would I follow my cousin, right? Words of affirmation. It's so funny. As I was preparing this, that is the story, the memory that came, and how important that was. That was such a pivotal moment in my relationship with my nana. Oh my goodness. I loved her before, but I loved her so much more than, and she probably knew it wasn't me, it was that one. But please, parents, say words of affirmations to your children. Reassure them of your love, especially when they do bad. Look at me, I'm tearing up. Especially when they do incorrect things. Children need discipline. They also need to be reminded, this wasn't a good decision, but I still love you. And you can redeem yourself from this. And I'm going to be here to help you, right? Children shouldn't be made to feel, so please go hug your kiddos when this is done, and look them in the eye and tell them how special they are. It's just so important. It like that just and after that big, and she was a big woman. I don't know, maybe she was like 5'9", 5'10". She was like big. That hug was everything. And when I went out, then I was good. I was okay. But had she not said that to me, had she not taken that moment, I probably would have been like destroyed, because that was my nana. Oh my goodness. So anyway, yeah, please take care of your children. That's worth more than an iPhone, a trip, some new sneakers, shoes. Say good, positive things to your children. Build them up. Grandparents here, grandmas, say good things to your grandchildren. It doesn't spoil them. People are like, oh, yeah. You can be objective, but be sweet to them. They need it. And especially in this world, it's so cruel. There's bullying, there's terrible things that go on. Children have it hard, and they need to know that the people in their lives got their back, supportive, love them, sweet. Okay. So now that I've gotten my little tears out, I appreciate you guys for being here and sharing this time with me. Your words matter. The way you speak to yourself matters, just like the way you speak to others matters. But let's be very conscientious of what we're saying to ourselves on a daily basis. It's on a loop. It's a constant loop. And we want to stop that. Okay, let's garden. Let's picture it as gardening, caring for ourselves. And the healing begins the moment you decide to speak life over your mind, your heart, your journey. Oh, Elvin said, please hit the like button. Yeah, I would appreciate that. It helps to get the message out. And if you know anyone that can use this, please, there's a share arrow. It'll give you a link and you can just send it to someone else. Because it's so important that we speak to ourselves in a positive way. This is our journey. We want to heal. We want to be happy. Gio, you're welcome, my Nana. And until next time, be gentle with your words. Yolanda, you touched me with that story. Oh, she was so sweet. If I find a picture of her, I'll put it in the chat so y'all can see my Nana. She was so sweet, flaws and all, but she was a good grandma. So be gentle with your words and even gentler with your soul. Be aware of what you're saying to yourself. You're doing beautifully. Let's keep it up. All right. Um, and that's it. I'll put some of the positive affirmations in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat that we have, the emotional wellness app chat. Those that are here, looks like most of you are in the chat. If you're not, the link is here. Last week, remember, I couldn't see, so it's because it was on top messages, not all messages. So if anyone does live YouTubes like Giordana Elvin, make sure it's on all messages, not top messages. Because last week I was like, well, nobody's saying anything. What are you gonna do for quality time? And I'm flipping and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, y'all are really quiet. And then later Elvin comes out, he's like, no, Karen. And then he showed me how to change it to all messages. Anyway, I did enjoy seeing your quality time ideas, and I hope that you're doing those things and taking good care of yourself. So we did quality time, we did words of affirmation. I wrote down this time because there was a vote. Next week, we're going to do acts of service. All right. Looking forward to that. The 5 love languages, how we can love ourselves more. And the more we love on ourselves, we attract love abundantly because what was it that someone said? I'm deserving of love. If you really feel that, if you tell yourself that every day and you really feel it, then that weeds out. Talk about gardening. That weeds out non-vitamin people because somebody acts up, misbehaves. Oh no, I don't deal with people like that anymore. And we just go the opposite way. We don't put ourselves in that person's way. It's very interesting. And I wonder if some of you here, the old Karen, before I did the work, and the work continues, by the way, but those type of people attracted me. I wanted to see what made them click. Well, how could I help them? They must need love. I can give it to them. What? You talking about some exhaustion? Now I see it. I can sniff it. And I go the other way. Way over here. Stacy's cracking up, and Leah said, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, no. Yeah, we don't do that to ourselves anymore. And we use that time and energy for ourselves to build up, prioritize. Let me do my words of affirmation, post them around the house where I can see them, put some on your desk at work, all the good things. All right. Self-care, self-care, self-care. All right. Love you all. Be well. And I look forward to next week with acts of service. See you soon. Mwah. Take care. Hugs.